Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Hope that you are all having a good day, whatever you've been up to. Maybe you've been out on a walk, maybe you've been to the beach, maybe you've been staying in your home, like most of us have. But yeah, whatever you've been doing, I hope it's been good. So I am coming on today to share with you a short sequence. It's probably going to be about 10 minutes or so, 10 or 15 minutes, focusing on opening up through the hip flexors, the muscles around the psoas, which is this muscle that connects the torso to the lower body and kind of crisscrosses like this. So hip flexors, hips, tend to get tight hips, especially if we've been doing a lot of sitting or a lot of walking or running. And we're going to focus on opening up through the back body as well. So opening the chest and getting some spinal mobility happening. So I hope you enjoy this little video. I'm just here in my new little cabin in Browley. So I just moved in a couple days ago. So welcome to my house. The best thing about it is there is no chairs, because I am very against chairs, and so no, I don't have any. The house I was renting before was so beautiful, but there was a lot of chairs, and now there isn't any. So yeah, that's a kind of non-yoga related thing. We'll get on with it, I promise. So we're going to start just by focusing on the breath, and I'm going to lead you through a few rounds of what's called box breathing. So box breathing is called box breathing because you make a box with your breath. So we'll be inhaling, we'll be holding the breath at the top, we'll be exhaling, we'll be holding the breath at the bottom. We'll do this for a couple of minutes and then we'll get on to some movement. So to start with, sit up really nice and tall. If you've got a pillow or a bolster or something like that, then you can sit up on it. And just FYI, if you want to borrow a bolster, I've got loads at the studio that aren't being used right now, and I would be happy to lend one to you, so just message me. So sitting tall, spine nice and long. You don't have to sit cross-legged, you could sit kneeling, or you could extend your legs. Let your hands rest anywhere that feels comfortable. Close your eyes, or just take a soft gaze down the tip of your nose. And like a body of water that's become really clouded and muddy with a lot of activity, just take the next couple of minutes to let that body of water, i.e. your mind, settle. And give your mind the focal point of observing and then controlling your breath. You're going to take this whole breath rhythm in and out through the nose. So exhale fully. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, last round. In 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Good job. And then natural breathing in and out through the nose. Staying with your breath, staying present as we start to bring some movement into the body. So just move your pillow or your bolster or whatever you have just gently off to the side, and then come forward onto your hands and your knees. So we're going to make a shape called tabletop. So stacking your wrists underneath your shoulders, and just watch your elbows. Try and turn your elbow creases in to face each other rather than hyperextending your elbows. And stack your knees underneath your hips. So you can just have a look back and just check. Knees stacked under hips, wrists stacked under shoulders. And then as you breathe out, you're going to make a pose called cat pose. So round your spine, tuck your chin in. As you inhale, lift your sit bones, lift your chest, roll your shoulder heads back. This is called cow. As you exhale, round your spine, press up through the shoulder blades, tuck your chin to your chest, cat. Inhale to cow, roll the shoulders back, lifting through the chest, lifting your tailbone. And just do this in your own time and see if you can make the movement really smooth. So you move like a river. Your spine is like a river. There's no stopping or starting. It's this continual wave from the tailbone, and then it undulates all the way up and down. Just a couple more in your own time. Every inhale is this expansive movement. Every exhale is this contractive movement. And then come back to a neutral spine. And then stand all the way up onto your shins. Just bring your hands to your hips for a moment. If your knees are really sensitive or the floor's really hard, then put a blanket or something like that, a rolled up mat under your knees. With your hands on your hips, we're going to start to find the alignment of the pelvic bowl. So I talked about this in an earlier video. I talk about it a lot. With your pelvis, you want to imagine that your pelvis is a big bowl of water. It is that bowl shape, right? So you can move your pelvis in 2 directions. When you tilt your pelvis forward, this is called anterior tilt of the pelvis, when you get like a really big curve in your lower back and it kind of squashes the lower back a little and your butt sticks out. It's like Kim Kardashian booty. And then as you take it the other way, then that would be the pelvis moving backward, which is called a posterior tilt of the pelvis. So when you do that, your hips press forward. You might start to feel a stretch through your hip flexors, which we're going to really focus on today. So just try that in your own time. I know you might feel like a bit weird or like, what am I doing this for? But it's really important to find the alignment of your pelvic bowl. When you do the posterior tilt, it's kind of like you're spilling imaginary water out the back of your pelvic bowl. When you do the anterior tilt, like the Kim Kardashian thing, it's like you're spilling water out the front of your pelvic bowl. So the aim is to not spill any water and to keep your pelvic bowl even, and so your pelvis is neutral. Yeah, we're going to continue to work with that as we move through. So just let your hands relax now. And as you inhale, move your arms up and then open up your arms. Bend your elbows. Maybe I'll show you from the front. Sometimes this is called cactus arms because it looks a bit like a cactus. Now draw the shoulder blades together. Imagine like you're trying to squeeze a pen between your shoulder blades. As you breathe out, bring your arm bones together and then spread the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, draw the cactus arms back. Exhale, bring your arms together and feel a stretch through the back of your heart. We're going to do this 3 more times. Breathing in, breathing out. Syncing the movement with the breath. Inhale, exhale. One more time to breathe in. Now really find that opening through your chest and your pectoral muscles, and then stretch your arms back behind you as much as you can. Imagine like we all got out of isolation and we were all giving each other a really big hug, like you were giving the whole world a big hug. I really can't wait for that moment. I'm going to give everyone the biggest hug ever. Inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, you're going to give yourself a big hug, because that's really important as well. And then round your spine, bring the crown of your head down. Inhale, press through the shins, lift through the chest, give the whole world a big hug. As you exhale, bring all of that love back into yourself, give yourself a big hug. Fold forward, you've got 3 more like this. As you inhale, drive the hips forward, drive the tailbone down, so you're going into that posterior tilt of the pelvis. As you exhale, round your spine. Inhale, lift and arch through the back. As you exhale, big hug, come down. Inhale, lift up. Arms extend, and then bring your hands down to your hips. We're going to take a lunge posture now, working deeper into the hips. So step forward with your right foot. You might feel a little bit wobbly as you step forward, that's okay. Right foot steps forward, and then try and find a 90-degree angle from your right hip, right knee, right ankle. 90 degrees. I think that's 90 degrees anyway. I didn't really do very well at math, but yeah, that's 90 degrees. Now draw your tailbone down. So you might start to feel now like a stretching, pulling sensation through the left hip flexor and the left psoas. And when you drop the tailbone, that will accentuate this area that we're trying to stretch into here. Lift your arms up into the air, and then bend your right elbow, bring your left hand to your right elbow, and then draw the right elbow behind your head to stretch the shoulder, and travel your right fingers down in between your shoulder blades. Stay there. You can either stay like that. I'm just going to show you from the back, but you stay in your lunge. Either like that, or if you've got quite open shoulders, maybe the left hand comes around and the fingers touch, or you can just hold on to your t-shirt. One more breath in, staying in your lunge. Full breath out. And then release your arms, both arms up into the air. And then as you exhale, you're going to swing the arms back and then straighten your right leg and flex the right toes. As you inhale, you're going to sink the hips and drop them quite deep now, as deep as you can. Lift the arms. As you exhale, extend the right leg. Draw the arms back. Breathing in, pulse the hips forward, lift the arms high. Breathing out, really smooth, extend the front leg. Awesome. I think one more. Who knows what you're doing really? You could just be sitting on the couch eating donuts, and I would not blame you. Exhale. One more time, breathe in, lift up. Then as you breathe out, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. So the fingertips might come down, maybe you can get your whole hand down. You're going to straighten your left leg. So press out, pulse out through your left heel. So now your left knee is off the floor. And then as you inhale, lift your right arm up into the air. Take a big stretch of the right arm high. Try and draw your right hip back and sink deeper into the right knee for one more breath. Then as you breathe out, bring your right hand down. You're going to step this back into a 4-point kneeling position where we were. We're going to do 3 rounds of cat stretches. So exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Inhale, arch your back, roll your shoulders back, lift the chest. As you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, arch the back, roll the tailbone up toward the ceiling. Last round, exhale, round your spine. Really get wide through the shoulders, so press up in toward the ceiling. Come back to center, and then stand up onto your shins. We're going to repeat this whole pattern. Arms wide, so big, out of isolation, hug. And then hug yourself, bring the crown of the head down. 3 pulses. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, pulse up, really smooth. Sometimes I say it's like an anemone coming out, greeting the ocean, and then going back in and digesting whatever food it's got from the ocean. I like to use all these analogies, which are kind of silly. So this could be called digesting anemone pose. Inhale, come all the way back up, and then bring your hands back to your hips. We're going to take the lunge on the second side. So step your left foot forward. Left foot forward. So you land on your heel and then onto the ball of the foot. So you could go really, really deep straight away, just depending on your body, but that's not the aim here to start with. I want you to draw the tailbone down and then see if you can feel that stretch on the right hand hip flexor and the psoas muscle. The more that you can keep your front ribs drawing in and not go into that like extra sort of butt thing, you know what I'm trying to say, that anterior tilt of the pelvis, that's going to get more strength through your core muscles and more length through your hip flexor. And then lift both arms up into the air. We're going to take the shoulder thing on the other side. Sometimes the shoulder thing is called gumukha arms. Bend your left elbow. Bring your right hand onto the top of your left elbow, and then move the left elbow like back and behind your head. So watch out that your head doesn't go forward. I didn't say that on the first side. Try and keep your neck long, keep your head up. So don't let your arm push your head around. You can stay there, or you can reach the right hand back behind you. Maybe the fingers touch. One side is usually really different. Like this side for me is much tighter than the other side. So don't be surprised if that is the case. Breathing here. Slow, steady inhales. Slow, steady exhale. And then start to release your arms. Take your arms up into the air. Now we're going to start to straighten through the left leg. So you're stretching the hamstring. And then as you exhale, okay, press your hips forward. Inhale, lift the arms up. As you exhale, I always get that one mixed up. You're going to straighten the front leg and then sweep the arms back behind you. Inhale, bend the front knee, press your hips right forward, arch back. Exhale to come back and extend. Good, so inhale, we're going into that deeper back bend, deeper hip opener. Breathing out, you're containing everything, drawing the front ribs in and straightening the front leg. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come all the way back up. As you breathe out now, bring hands down to frame your left foot. Tuck your right toes and press the right leg back. Not really sure how well you can see my body. I feel like I've just blended in to the surroundings. But anyway, as you inhale, lift your left arm up into the air. So you're twisting your chest here. Keep your hips even. Don't let your hips twist. Think you want your hips to be as even as possible. It's the chest that's twisting. One straight line from wrist to wrist. One more breath. Then as you exhale, both hands down. Step from here into downward facing dog. So downward facing dog means that your feet will find the back of the mat. Bend your knees. Press your chest back towards your thighs. Flare your sit bones up toward the ceiling. An analogy I like to use for this in downward facing dog is if you imagine that you had a torch shining out of your butt crack. You want this torch not to be angled back to the wall, but you want your butt torch to angle toward the ceiling. That tends to get quite good results, like from the alignment, not from literally people putting torches in their butt. Sorry about this, I don't have any students, so I'm like going a little bit delirious. Butt torches to the sky. So once you've found that alignment from the pelvis tilting, then you might start to straighten the legs. But don't worry if the legs don't straighten. In fact, they probably won't, and that's totally fine. Press your hips back. The intention is to get your spine straight rather than the legs straight. One more breath. And then inhale, come forward into a plank pose. So now your butt torch wants to shine down towards your heels. Not like that. but butt torch down. So there's a posterior tilt of the pelvis, and then draw the front ribs up in toward your spine. Draw your belly button up toward your spine. Press into your hands so much, like you're trying to drag the sticky mat apart from left to right. Maybe your knees are on the floor and it will be the same shape. 3 more breaths. Exhale 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Inhale. Exhale, knees to floor if they're not already. Now, from here, draw the navel up and toward the spine. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists. Untuck your toes. Bend your elbows back toward you. And then elbows hug in towards your sides. Come down in a really straight line. Down, down, down. Slowly to the belly. And then rest your head on your hands. Wiggle your hips from side to side. You still see me? Yes, I think so. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Well done. And then we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So, move this way a little bit. Press into your forearms. Press the tops of your feet into the earth, so your kneecaps lift off. Stay there in Sphinx, and then keep pressing your chest forward. Just stay there for another couple of breaths. I'm just going to quickly change the angle in this camera. That's a bit better. Hello everyone that's watching. Thank you for bearing with me and for my ridiculous jokes. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Press into the tops of your feet, lift your chest. So you might be able to feel now a tractioning or an opening through your back body. We're going to stay for one more breath. Yay, I've got a little like and a little heart there, thank you. And then working into the quad, turn your left elbow, so your left arm is now parallel to the front of your mat. Bend your right knee, so the right foot comes back behind you. Reach your right hand forward, back, and then around to hold onto your foot. And then if you can, if you've got the mobility in your shoulder, spin the right elbow up toward the ceiling and press the right foot down toward the outer right quad. So if you're feeling a quad stretch here, you're definitely in the right place. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but however it looks. If this feels too much, it's too much of a back bend for you, just come down and you can rest your head down, or you can just take that all the way down onto your belly. If you want a slightly stronger variation, then you're lifted. Stretching your quads. So quads get notoriously tight, like without walking, running, whatever we're doing, we really want to make sure that they get some love. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, slowly release the leg and then come down to rest. Rest your head on your hands. Wiggle your hips from side to side. This is like really nice for the lower back. Nice even deep breaths. Good, and then the second side, so you'll press back up into that same Sphinx shape. Turn your right elbow, your right forearm parallel to the top of the mat and really press into the right forearm. Bend your left knee. Reach your left hand back to hold the left foot. Spin the left elbow up toward the ceiling. As much as you can, press the left foot down toward the outer left hip. You can stay there, you can take it lower if that's too much. Breathing and just really, I don't know if enjoying is the right word, but the whole point of the practice is that it is uncomfortable. What we're doing is actually learning how to be with discomfort, how to just be with things as they are and not continually run away from things that feel uncomfortable. It's kind of like if you had to have a uncomfortable conversation with someone and tell them something that you didn't think they wanted to hear. You probably feel like, oh, I just want to avoid it, or just not text them, or whatever it is. But you know that's not really the right thing to do. So this is like how we deal with discomfort. and it relates to everything that you do in your life. So don't be afraid of the discomfort. One more breath. And then release. And then come down. Rest your head on your hands. And wiggle your hips. Hold on, everybody. And then just to finish that sequence off, bring your hands down now so your fingers are going to be in line with your upper chest. Head on the floor for now. Squeeze your scapulas toward each other, like you're trying to squeeze a pen between your shoulder blades. Squeeze your legs together, press down into the tops of the feet, and then peel your chest forward and off the floor. This is called cobra. You might stay right here. That might be plenty. If you want to go a little deeper, you can take the hands slightly wider, tent the fingers, which means press into the fingertips, maybe come up a little higher. Maybe come up a little higher, but really use the back body. You're going to squeeze the muscles of the glutes, lift yourself up. It doesn't have to be so high, it can be like here, just whatever works for your body. Opening through the chest. 3 more breaths. Last inhale. If you're really, really super flexy and you want to do that whole thing with the feet, go for it. Maybe your head can touch the feet. I don't think mine can. And then exhale, come down. Slowly, slowly peel the spine back. Head on hands. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Awesome, everybody. And then from here, you're going to do something really technical called lying onto your back. So stay in the same way that you're facing. So keep your head facing toward this end and simply roll onto your back. So technical, right? Roll onto your back and then draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a big hug. So after all that back bending, I'm just going to round out the spine a little. You're going to start with some movements. So bring your hands to your kneecaps and just move the knees around in circles. Oh, this just feels so good, I reckon. It's probably like one of my favorite poses. Feeling that massage. You can really be your own masseur, and let's face it, we kind of have to at the moment. If we can't actually go and get a massage, then we can be our own masseur, and then really look forward to that beautiful massage when we come back. I know I will. Hello Liz, if you're watching. Can't wait for that. Draw your knees into your chest. Liz, by the way, is the best massage therapist ever. Liz Phillip in Malua Bay. Little plug. Squeeze your knees to your chest, and then as you exhale, you're going to round your spine, so squeeze the nose towards the knee. Breath in, and then come all the way down. Place the feet onto the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, coming into a figure 4 shape. You can either stay right here, pressing your left knee out, so left ankle crosses over right thigh, I think that's what I said. And then thread your hands in between the gap and hold on to the front of your right shin or the back of your right thigh, and then draw the right shin, right thigh in toward you. Relax your right foot completely and keep the left foot slightly flexed, so you're opening up through your left hip. Just a few more breaths here. This pose is called figure 4. Sometimes it's called thread the needle. It's got a few names. If you feel a hip stretch, you're in the right place. One more breath. And then slowly relax. Going to swap that over. Left foot down. Right ankle flexes. And start by pressing this right knee out. A common mistake is it kind of stays like this. That's not going to open the hip. So you can even use your right hand, not into the knee itself, but just press the thigh out. You might feel a stretch there. If so, stay. If you want to go deeper, pick up your left foot, hold, interlock through that gap, hold on to left outer shin. or left inner thigh. And then every inhale, think lengthen your spine. Keep your head still as much as possible and the gaze up toward the ceiling. I know you're trying to get a visual as well. Every exhale, draw the left knee, left thigh, whatever you've got hold of, in until you can feel a stretch through your outer right hip. Your body is going to love you for this. Your hips are going to love you for this. Your hips have been designed to move. Yeah, they love movement. The whole body loves movement. It's the best medicine ever. It doesn't really matter how you do it, just move, I reckon. One more breath. And then release and take both legs up into the air. Circle out your feet. This is called waving your legs in the air pose. Waving your legs in the air asana. Again, it's very technical and very serious. Take those cycles in the other direction, like you're cycling upside down through the universe. If you do enough meditation, you can get to that point maybe of astral travel. Visiting all the aliens, and then relax. Hug your knees to your chest. Well done. Gently pendulum yourself up. Come to a seated position. I have no idea how long this video was. I think it might have been more than 10 minutes. Thanks for bearing with me. Just going to end with that same box breathing. So we'll take a few rounds together. Find a comfortable seat. If you need to sit up onto a pillow or a bolster, please do. Either close your eyes or take a soft gaze down the tip of your nose. Exhale fully. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Last round. In, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Natural breathing. Just take a moment to be still and recognize how you feel after your practice. Bring your hands together. Just thanking yourself for coming and for practicing. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to share this video on the page so it will be there always, forever and ever. So maybe you've got some friends that want to watch as well. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, if you want to join our classes, we've got 25 classes a week through the studio, Soul Tribe Studio, streamed from my house and all of our wonderful teachers' houses. You can join for $10 for a drop-in class or $20 for unlimited access with Watch Again access. So you've got the database to all of our classes that are filmed and you can watch them anytime. Yeah, I really appreciate your support during this time. It's definitely weird not going to the studio, and I miss it and I miss all of you, but there is lots of other blessings that are coming along out of this whole thing. So yeah, look after yourself and stay connected to your heart and be kind, and I will see you on the flip side.